Hello everyone, this is Ninja Girl Sakura1 here, back with another Legend of Korra episode review. And today's episode, of course, is Book 4, Episode 5, Enemy at the Gates. Which, by the title, you can probably guess is Kuvira heading towards Zaufu. And she arrives there with her entire army. And as her and her fiancé, Patar, are talking, they reveal why they even have Bolin in their army, really. To try and use her to convince Sue-yin to hand Zaufu over to her. So, yeah. It's not because Bolin's tough and strong, it's because they're using him. So, that's pretty cruel. And meanwhile, Korra's of course on her way to Zaufu because she realizes that's where Kuvira is headed. I guess the kids must have told her. But, we actually hear that Korra doesn't actually want to just fight Kuvira. She wants to try to reason with her. Because after all, in Book 3, at the very end, she did save her father, so she'd rather try to reason with her rather than just go all out and fight her. And for those of you who say, oh, Korra has no character growth, well, I think that shows that she has. Very much so. So, way to go, Korra. She's growing up a lot. Amazing what 3 years can do for you. Not that she didn't grow a lot before anyway, but yeah. And then we see Varric and Julie experimenting again with the spirit vines, and we learn what they're really trying to make, which is what a lot of people thought they were trying to make, is a battery. They were trying to use the energy from the spirit vines to power something. However, it goes completely wrong and it explodes. And Julie nearly falls off the train that they were on. And Varric does save her, and we see that Julie kind of has some romantic feelings for Varric. But Varric does not return those feelings. But, yeah. When Kuvira comes to see what the heck happened, Varric tells her and explains that it's too dangerous and he doesn't want to continue this experiment anymore. However, Kuvira threatens him and says, you're gonna do it, like it or not, or else, basically. And actually does try to throw him on the tracks with her metal bending. So Varric agrees, out of fear, to continue his experiments with the spirit vines, but obviously he's terrified. We then see Asami, who we haven't actually seen in a little while, and she actually visits her dad, Hiroshi Sato, initially to just give him back the letters he had written to her and just tell him she wants nothing to do with him, stop writing her, and she just is fed up with him. However, he apologizes and is very sincere that he regrets hurting her and ruining their family name and is just really sorry. Then we go back to Kuvira and her army back in Zaufu, and they actually, her, Patar, Bolin, they each go and try to talk to Sue-yin to try and convince her to sign her treaty. And of course, Sue-yin does not want to do it. She's totally against it, as are Patar's twin brothers and his father. And Bolin basically has to play peacemaker. Unsuccessfully, really. By the end of the conversation, Kuvira just says what she has said to many villages before. You have 24 hours to think about it and agree to my terms. So, yeah. Not good. We then learn that what people were talking about when they said, we know what happens after you leave a village, after you've taken it over. It's revealed that what happens is that the people of the villages she has taken over are forced into slave labor. Not cool. Of course, Bolin at first doesn't want to believe that, but while talking to Kuvira, he actually begins to see her true colors and realizes she's crazy. And out of fear of being sent to a camp, he is able to convince her, after talking to her, that he is still loyal to her, but secretly, of course, he's freaking out, which I would be too. Then we go to Korra and Sue-yin talking, and this is when it's revealed that Kuvira was actually a student of Sue-yin, and she basically raised her since she was 8 years old. But when Sue-yin was offered by Tenzin and President Raiko to take over the Earth Kingdom and rule it, Sue-yin said no because she didn't want to be seen as a dictator, which apparently made Kuvira upset. So she decides to do it instead. And of course takes Katara with her, and everything happened from there, and that's why they don't get along at all. Even though when Kuvira was younger, they did. And again, when Sue-yin says, well, Korra, you're here, why don't you just go into the Avatar state and just destroy her army so nothing happens? And again, Korra shows how much she has grown as a character and says, that's something the old me would do, I can't do that. I want to try to talk to Kuvira first. So, way to go, Korra. Again, amazing maturity. So, yeah. Then the scene switches back to Bolin and Varric, and they both realize Kuvira is crazy, and that they got to get out of there fast. Then the scene switches back to Korra talking to Kuvira. And at first, Kuvira is pleased to see her, and is glad that she seems to be a little bit better, because last she knew she was still at the Southern Water Tribe recovering. Korra says, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better, but I can't let you take zaufu like this. And Kuvira is, of course, not happy, but by the end of the conversation, she agrees to have Korra talk to Sue-yin, and she makes a temporary truce. And then we switch back to Bolin and Varric's situation, and they are on the run. Kuvira is obviously actually found out already. Or it was her fiance, I think, who found out, actually. Yeah. Patar found out first. So he sends his robots that Varric had actually built after them. And Bolin and Varric actually have one as well. They apparently stole a couple, I guess. And they were trying to go to zaufu. Well, Bolin was. Varric wanted to go right to Republic City to tell everyone about Kuvira. But Bolin wants to go to zaufu to help out. So yeah, as they're talking, they are attacked by Kuvira's forces. And Bolin ends up getting out of his mecha tank, or whatever you want to call them, the robot suits, and does more lava bending. And he does pretty good. I think his skill has grown a bit. So, nice, Bolin. However, they end up getting caught. Then we switch back to Asami, and she goes back again to visit her father. And she agrees that, well, it's going to take time. She wants to forgive him, and decides that she wants to play a game of Pai Sho with him like they used to do when she was young. So that's touching, that she wants to make amends with her dad, even though she's still pretty upset with him after what he had done in Book 1. So that's good for Asami. Then, of course, the scene switches back again to Bolin, Varric, and Julie. And, well, Kuvira wants to keep Varric around to continue his experiments on the spirit vines, but Bolin and Julie, she wants to send them to a re-education camp. In other words, brainwash them. So, not good. However, Julie turns on Varric and pledges her allegiance to Kuvira, so that stuns Varric, of course. But after doing this, Kuvira takes Julie back and doesn't send her. Bolin, however, he's off to the camp to be re-educated, most likely. Unless Korra can get to him. We'll see next episode, I guess. And at the end, when Korra tries to go to talk to Sue-yin again, her husband reveals that she and his two sons, the twins, went to try and sneak into where Kuvira is and stop the situation then and there, which of course worries Korra to no end. And that's where the episode ends. So things are picking up now. Kuvira wants to take Zaufu, which is not good, and Korra wants to try and stop Kuvira in a diplomatic way, which shows a lot of character growth. But now Sue-yin and her sons are trying to take Kuvira on alone. Not good. So hopefully Korra can put a stop to this before someone gets severely hurt. However, apparently people already have been, because once Kuvira leaves, wherever she is taken over, the people are forced into slave labor. So, wow, that's really not cool. But overall, just good episode, and it's moving things along. I still say Korra alone so far has been the best episode, but still, now we finally got to see Korra and Kuvira actually confront one another, sort of. So yeah, hopefully Bolin will be alright, because right now we're not too sure. All we know is he's most likely being sent off to that re-education camp, so yeah. Next episode, we'll see what happens. Hopefully Korra can stop Sue-yin and her sons from doing something foolish and getting killed. But until next Friday, when the next episode airs, I will see you all later.